What's going on, y'all? It's Monty back with another episode of Mondays with Monty, and I'm still here doing what I wanted to do. I've started posting a lot more relationship content in terms of, what I've started to believe is the philosophy towards having a better relationship and being able to maintain a relationship. And a lot of it has come from actually just two books that I've recently read, and I want to show you both of them. So the first one that I read is called The Manual. It's What Women Want and How to Give It to Them. And then the second one I read, and I'm currently reading now actually, is The Value of Others. And these two books, actually, the thing that I've been having trouble with the most is the stigma behind a lot of relationship content, because a lot of the guys who have gotten popular from it have taken it too far, and they've taken it to an extent where whenever someone hears people talking about it, they're like, oh, there goes another relationship guy. And that honestly weighs on my mind every time I post one of these videos. I feel a sort of reluctance sometimes to post these videos, because I haven't gotten past the point where people disagreeing with me doesn't weigh as much on my mind, because a lot of the things in these two books are very unconventional, and they're things that everyone normally would go against and everyone wouldn't necessarily tell you. So to think about how many people are socially conditioned to believe certain things, hearing something that's the complete opposite of that is going to be met with a lot of aggression. Aggression, not in the sense of like actual aggression, but people aren't going to want to change what they already believe, because they believe that's how it works. In the recent climate of the dating marketplace and things of that nature, it seems as if nothing's working anymore. Like, one thing I recently talked about was the nice guy epidemic, and how nice guys, they developed from the belief that women were only attracted to jerks. Realizing that women were attracted to these jerks, men started to become nicer, in a sense that, okay, if women are attracted to jerks and these jerks are doing them bad, these women are going to want to come to the guy who's so nice and so caring that they'll just have to fawn over them. And that was the worst way to go about it, because the way that we should have taken that, the way that we should have thought about that was that, okay, let's figure out what these women are attracted to in these guys. What is it about these jerks that women adore so much? And a lot of people misconstrued what I had said, because they thought I was just saying, just be a jerk. But that wasn't even the case, because the jerks that we are talking about aren't necessarily bad people, but they possess traits that are attractive to women. They have a set of balls. And the social conditioning that's gone on in the past years have made men a lot softer. They've made men a lot more hesitant. They made men a lot more self-conscious. They made men a lot less, eager to go after something and chase something, which is what made men in the first place. That will, that desire, that fire that we all had in us. And that's what those jerks possess. A lot of dudes are so scared to stand up to their woman, or are so scared to actually have a vision or a direction in their life and where they're going, to actually be able to share that with a woman and say, okay, here's where we're going to go. Here's what we're going to do. If you don't like that, you can go. These so-called jerks that a lot of men think that women are attracted to, they aren't necessarily jerks in terms of the ways that they treat them bad, but they don't accept the bullshit that comes with it. They don't allow the woman to walk over them. They don't cater to her every need, and you don't even need to cater to her every need. That's one thing I really learned in this book, because I had started to become, one of those nice guys and try to do everything for a woman, and thought that if I was catering to her every need, there was no reason she would leave me. Still left me. And I realized that I was doing too much for these women. I was doing too much. There was too much I was doing, and it felt overbearing. But these guys who were so-called jerks, they never let women walk over them. They always stood up for themselves. They always had a set of balls. And that's really all that it takes, guys. That's really all that it takes. And it's met with so much pushback because of how society has been talking to us. It's like, oh, all you need to do is be yourself. All you need to do is be a nice person, and everything will go your way. No. No, you got to get your hands dirty if you want to succeed. You got to get your hands dirty if you want to succeed. And that goes for anything. Anything in the world, you got to get your hands dirty if you want to succeed. There are some moments where you have to be an asshole if you want to get the best for you. And that's what it's going to come down to. You have to be selfish. You got to be selfish. And there's such a negative connotation with being selfish that people think it's just the worst thing in the world. No. You're the most important person in your world. Let me put an example. A lot of men, they get into a relationship and they're like, oh, I can't do what I want to do anymore. Why? They have all these hobbies before they have a relationship, and then they get in a relationship and they think they need to spend all their time with their girl and drop all the hobbies and things that they used to do. Why would you ever do that? And the more and more you start to relinquish things that are near and dear to your heart and things that you value before the relationship, and while during the relationship you start to, throw these things out the window, stop seeing your friends, stop doing what you want to do, the more she's going to think, this guy is giving up all this stuff for me. Yeah, she'll give you the whole, oh, that's so sweet, like how is you? But at the same time, it's like, why are you giving up this stuff for me? And whenever people see that you're willing to sacrifice what you believe for them, they're going to walk over you. They're going to walk over you. Women do not want a man that they can walk over. So there's always a happy medium that you have to find. You don't want to be a crazy, conniving asshole, but you also don't want to be the nicest guy in the world catering to every need. This may sound crazy as well, but you got to lean a little more to the conniving asshole. And that may sound crazy. It may sound crazy, but I'm telling you right now, one thing I've been doing recently, because like I said, I developed a lot of nice guy traits as I was growing up. And one thing I've been doing recently is I've been purposefully trying to be an asshole to see how differently people may start to treat me when I do it. And you know what I've noticed? Nothing. Nothing has changed. I've been more in moments when I feel as if, oh, I want to do something more for this person, I haven't. Or like if someone did something for me and I don't say thank you, something of that nature. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. There's a lot of these pleasantries that we do that really don't carry any weight. But we think we need to do it. And then we start going overboard because we're like, oh, we're so quick to apologize. We're so quick to say thank you. We're so quick to help someone out. We don't have to do it all the time. We can be selfish. So if that's something you want to try being a little more selfish. Try being a little more selfish. Say no a lot more. And see how your life will change around when you start doing that. And like I said, I thought people would like me so much more if I was able to cater to all their needs, but people just start walking over you. If you start saying no and start setting boundaries and start having these limits, people aren't going to be able to walk over you, and they're going to respect you even more because of that. Because they know you're not someone who's going to let someone come over and run whatever you got going on. Because at the end of the day, I know I'm jumping around a lot, but at the end of the day, a woman doesn't want to run the ship. And that's something I'm going to talk about in another one of my videos, because that was a analogy that one of the guys was using. But the woman doesn't want to run the ship, man. There's so much more I could talk about, but I don't want to let this get too long. It's already up to like 10 minutes. But I've been talking about a lot of stuff, and just every week I'm going to just come back and talk about some more stuff of this nature. Who knows where it's going to head next, but one thing I also do want to say is that there's nothing I'm going to be sharing with you guys that I haven't tried myself. Like I said in the first video, I'm going to be using my relationship that I'm in currently as collateral towards what I've been saying. If I'm saying something in this, know that I've tried it in my relationship and it's worked. If it hasn't worked, I'll explain why it hasn't. Or I'll try to explain why it hasn't. But I'm using my relationship as collateral because, like I said, not only do I want people to understand that they can and they have the power to get into a relationship and get women, but I also want people to be better with keeping the women around, because that's important to me. I like keeping women around. So I appreciate y'all rocking with me, man. And I will talk to y'all soon. So, happy Monday.
Wait, why you keep running away? I know that it's killing me slowly, but baby, I think I'm in love with the chase. Every part of your body amazing. I think I'm in love with your face. I feel like it's just me and you at the function. Whenever I'm touching your waist, can you just wait? Baby, I feel like a prisoner, caught up in all